Hello students, how are you all? Hope you all are safe and healthy. Here I am back with your another video of your first chapter of economics, that is first chapter of Indian economic development, and the next topic today we are going to do is demographic profile during the British rule. In the last videos we covered different topics, that is what was the status of agriculture sector on the eve of independence, status of industrial sector, status of foreign trade and all that. Today we are going to discuss what was the demographic profile during the British rule. First of all, let me tell you what is demographic profile. Demographic means characteristics of population, that is what was the characteristics of the population during the British rule. The first point of this topic is your high birth rate and death rate. That is, during the British rule the birth rate was also high and the death rate was also very high. And what was the reason behind high birth rate and death rate? High birth rate was high because of the reason that the public was not aware about the family planning measures, right? So that's why the birth rate was very high. Along with that, death rate was also very high because at that time the medical and health facilities were not very much advanced, and hospitals were not very much advanced, and well experienced doctors were not there. That's why the death rate was also very high. Next point is infant mortality rate. Infant mortality rate was also very high during British rule. Now what is infant mortality rate? Infant mortality rate is the rate of death of children below the age of 1 year. That is, जो आपके 1 year से below जो बच्चे हैं उनकी death rate. If we compare the data of present infant mortality rate with that with the infant mortality rate during British rule, at that time it was 218 per thousand. That is, during the British rule 218,000 was the infant mortality rate, and at present it has reduced to 34 per thousand. And the reason behind high infant mortality rate was that is the same, the health facilities were not very much advanced during British rule. That's why the infant mortality rate was also very high, that is death rate below the age of 1 year. Next point is life expectancy. Life expectancy means that is average life of a person. During the British rule, average life of a person was 32 years. The reason was the same, that is the health facilities were not very much advanced, people were poor, their basic facilities were not fulfilled. So that's why the life expectancy rate was also low during the British rule. That is, the average life of person at that time was 32 years. Now it is 68 years. At present it is 68 years. Next point is your literacy rate. Literacy rate means literacy means the person who can read as well as write. Not only reading, but the person is able to write also. That indicates your literacy rate. At that time also the literacy rate was low. And as far as female literacy is concerned, that was very much low. During the British rule, literacy rate was merely 16% and female literacy rate was 7%. And female literacy rate was very low due to gender biasness and social backwardness. So this was all about the demographic profile during the British rule. That is, the birth rate, death rate and infant mortality rate, life expectancy rate and literacy rate all were very low, and the reason was the same, that is medical and health facilities not very much advanced due to poverty, due to social backwardness, due to different superstitions in the persons. Next topic is occupational structure on the eve of Next topic is your occupational structure on the eve of independence. Occupational structure means the distribution of working population. That is, the working population was engaged in different sectors. As you all know, there are three sectors: agriculture sector, industrial sector and tertiary sector. Right? Agriculture sector, that is the primary sector, the persons who are involved in agriculture sector. Most of the person, that is majority of the population at that time was engaged in agriculture sector. Right? Apart from that, most of the population was also engaged in industrial sector as well as in tertiary sector. Tertiary sector means the service sector, that is insurance, banking. During the British rule, the working population was mostly engaged in agriculture sector. The reason was that most of the people were residing in rural areas, so they were dependent on agriculture sector for their livelihood. If we see the data, the population of round about 72.7% was engaged in agriculture sector. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पर्सन आपके engaged थे एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में अपने लाइवलीहुड को अर्न करने के लिए. और हमने पहले भी डिस्कस करा था दैट द फार्मर्स और पर्सन्स were using the agriculture for subsistence farming, that is farming for their own livelihood, not for any commercial purpose. So in India, majority of the population during the British rule was engaged in agriculture sector, that is 72.7% was engaged. Next is industrial sector. A very insignificant working population was engaged in industrial sector, that is if we see the data, merely 9% of the working population was engaged in industrial sector. Seeing the data, we can say that during the British rule, the population, our economy was too backward because the population was mostly engaged in agriculture sector, due to which our economy was backward. And industrial sector, only 9% of the working population was engaged in industrial sector. Next is your unbalanced growth. Unbalanced growth means the growth of different sectors, that is the growth of all the three sectors, agriculture, industrial and tertiary sector, was not balanced. ऑल द सेक्टर्स वर नॉट इक्वली डेवलप्ड. आपके तीनों जो सेक्टर्स थे, अनबैलेंस्ड ग्रोथ थी तीनों सेक्टर्स में, आपके इक्वली डेवलप्ड सेक्टर्स जो हैं तीनों नहीं थे. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, इंडस्ट्रियल और टेरिशरी सेक्टर जो था बिल्कुल ग्रोथ के स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट पे था. एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर तो कुछ हद तक डेवलप था, लेकिन वो कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए या प्रॉफिट मेकिंग के लिए डेवलप नहीं था. सिर्फ फार्मर्स उसको यूज़ करते थे अपनी सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग के लिए. इसके अलावा इंडस्ट्रियल एंड टर्शरी सेक्टर वर एट द ग्रोथ ऑफ इन्फेंट, दैट मीन्स दे वर एट द स्टार्टिंग स्टेज ऑफ ग्रोथ. So there was an unbalanced growth of all the three sectors, agriculture, industrial and tertiary sectors. Next topic is infrastructure on the eve of independence. What was the status of infrastructure at the time of independence? Seeing the points, we can say Britishers have a negative, all the negative impact on our country, but a few positive impacts also they created in our country, but that was not for our benefit but for the benefit of British government. So first is as far as infrastructure is concerned, railways were developed. That is, before the Britishers there was no any railway system in our country. After the arrival of Britishers only the railway system, the transportation system was developed, but that was developed only for the British government benefit. That is, they used to transport the goods from they used to transport the raw material from India to Britain. So that's why there was a need to develop the railway system. That's why Britishers introduced the railway system to transport the raw material from India to Britain. Apart from that, they also used to export the finished goods from Britain to India without any tariff act, that we discussed in previous topic. So railway system was developed during the British rule. Here again I mention that the system was introduced, railway system was introduced just for the benefit of Britain, not for India. Only for their selfish end they introduced the railway system, not for India. Next is, apart from railway, ports were also developed. Why they were developed? Because there was a need for Britain to export raw material to Britain and import finished goods from Britain to India. That's why ports were also developed during British rule. Next is, post and telegraphs was also developed on the eve of independence. That was to enhance administration system, to enhance the British administration system. Post and telegraph was also introduced and developed in our country. Last point is roads. were also developed to facilitate transportation of raw material from different parts of the country to ports, that is to export and import the raw material and finished goods from India to Britain, and from finished goods from Britain to India, roads were developed. That is, overall we can say that this was the only positive impact of British government on our country, that is railway, ports and roads were developed. But again I repeat, that was developed, that was introduced just for the selfish ends of Britain government. But after independence, these uh, benefited us also, that is India was also benefited by these. The last topic of this chapter is, was there is any positive impact of the British rule in India? Most of the points we discussed in this chapter was that all the negative points we discussed here, that is British government, Britishers exploited our country, exploited Indians, but a few positive impacts also they created in our country, but that was just for their own benefits. Okay, but at present time also we are availing that their those benefits. So we can say a little bit positive impacts was also there during the British rule. That is, in the last topic we discussed, that is they developed railway system, road, ports and post and telegraph, they developed for their own benefit. So these benefits we are availing at present also. So first is commercial outlook of the farmers. First, commercial outlook of the farmers means we have discussed in first topic, that is agriculture sector on the eve of independence, कि जो farmers थे वो subsistence farming adopt करते थे, that means farming for their own livelihood. उनके माइंड में कुछ भी ऐसा नहीं था कि कमर्शियल पर्पस के लिए वो यूज़ करेंगे या प्रोडक्शन को बाहर एक्सपोर्ट या इंपोर्ट करने के लिए, सेल आउट करने के लिए वो यूज़ करेंगे. तो वो सिर्फ किस पर डिपेंड करते थे? फार्मर्स सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग पर डिपेंड करते थे. बट आफ्टर द इन अराइवल ऑफ ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट, they changed their outlook from subsistence farming to commercialization of agriculture. Britishers forced them to grow cash crops rather than growing the subsistence crops. So after the British rule, the outlook of the farmers changed. That is, they started thinking that agriculture can be used for commercial purpose also, for making the benefits, for profit making. Apart from subsistence farming, apart from earning their livelihood, they can use the farming system for commercial purpose also. Next is new opportunities of employment. A number of employment opportunities were also created during the British rule. Why? Because railway and road transportation system, ports and telegraph, these were developed. We discussed in last topic. So these introduction or development of these areas created new opportunities for our population. These created new employment opportunities for our working population. So we can say this was also the positive impact of British rule in India, that is new and better opportunities were, employment opportunities were available during the before the working population. Next is control of famine. If any famine or flood occur in any area, then we can easily transport the which help in the growth of our economy. Next is effective system of administration. That is, after the arrival of British government in India, post and telegraph were developed, which enhanced our administration efficiency. That is, our politicians, planners, they developed. So this was the last topic of this chapter, that is positive impact of British rule in India. Thank you.